Welcome to the Mind Body Abundance platform. We're so happy to have you join us this morning. I'm honored to be surrounded by such an inspiring group of guides. My name is Lisa, and with me this morning is John, Therese, and Charlene. Thank you for joining me today. John, what is Mind Body Abundance?
Well, the Mind Body Abundance experience is something that I created so we could have a world to surround ourselves with amazing people to help us on our journey to be our best selves. I was really inspired. I went to a Mind Body Spirit Expo, and by doing that for a day, I said, why can't we do this every day? And so I wanted to build this platform so we could all participate in this journey that we're in together.
Right. And one thing, I'm with you. I go to the events and I get pumped up. And I love the idea of having a community that can help me stay focused on a day-to-day basis on grounding myself in wellness practices.
I totally agree. And what I love is that we all learn and grow from each other's talents, and we don't feel like we have to take the burden on all of ourselves and let the ego lead, but instead we as the guides let the internal guides guide ourselves, which then trickles down to that paradigm shift with each other, and we're all so wide open to learning from each other.
I love that feeling of collective unity, like we're all in this together and building, and it just feels so wholesome. It feels like something that we can all learn from one another, and it's really exciting to be a part of it, for sure.
So Charlene, you are healthy lifestyle, healthy eating, no allergies, gluten-free, allergy-free, everything. What does your dental care look like?
Such a good question, because everything that starts in our mouth is absorbed into the cells and then goes all the way through our system. So I've had a lot of dental issues in the past, so I'm really careful with everything I use. So I look for more of a natural, I want to like the taste of it, I want to like the texture of it, but more of a natural without any chemicals or anything like that.
So, we have our sponsor on, which is Fresh Mouth, and they do a nano silver toothpaste that's all natural, and it really has some interesting medicinal values to it. We've been using it for the last week. For me, personally, I had this thing in my mouth, just like an irritation, and sometimes I get them with eating the wrong foods, and then it just kind of, grabs it wrong. And to fix it, because I'm a little older, I have to do like a peroxide rinse and, brushing and be really intensive about, the brushing and everything. And I used the Fresh Mouth for a couple of days, and I got results right away. So I was really impressed by how quickly it worked. What was your experience in using it?
It was unlike other natural toothpastes because it was very light and nice and foamy, and it sparkles coming out of the tube, and I'm all about glitter, so.
Right.
But just not overwhelming flavor. You could tell there was something good happening while you're brushing, and it wasn't like trying to brush through some thick, heavy paste. It was just really nice. It was a fresh, clean taste. There was no aftertaste. I feel like I felt the absorption of the elderberry and the vitamin C and the different things that are in it. So for me, it's a winner.
Yeah, I like that. A lot of the natural or the healthy toothpaste that I've tried has not tasted good, and it's just an unpleasant experience because I'm so programmed to the commercial toothpaste that's out there.
Yeah, the mint in yours, because I did the berry. How was your mint experience?
Love the mint.
Yeah?
Yeah, love the mint. It was really good. So, do you know anything about the silver that's in there?
I've done a little bit of research, but it's more on colloidal, so I'm really excited to have more information on the silver in this toothpaste.
Larry is going to be joining us in just a moment to tell us more about the Ocean Mint and the Berry Blast and some other products that he has. But before that, let's hear a little bit more about the Mind Body Abundance platform. So the experience, it's immersive. Everything that we're going to be doing, it's an opportunity for you to engage where you're most comfortable. So that's why we're on a lot of different platforms. It's live and it's virtual. And this show that we're doing, the Mind Body Abundance Show, is going to be every Wednesday at 10 a.m. And in addition to that, the first Thursday of every month, we're going to have a networking event here at the Expansive Workspace in Wauwatosa. That's going to be in person. It's going to be a great opportunity to be in person and just network with people and learn new and interesting things that we've had on the show over the past month. Weekly, we're going to have virtual and networking group guide sessions in the community membership platform. And that's going to be an opportunity to get group coaching, group guidance, or just connect with your community and your peers. And then we'll have daily sessions and tools where you can engage right inside the platform. And Lisa, you're going to be joining us every Thursday morning for guided meditation.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that. So, cool opportunity for people to take a break in their day. Hopefully, it may be a wonderful way to start their morning. So, where they can just have opportunity, thinking maybe about 15, 20 minutes, something like that, where you can have a little centering, some grounding to their day. And, just like I said, a wonderful way to whether you're brand new to meditation or have been practicing, I'm hoping it'll be something that will bring benefit to anyone who joins us. So when we think about routine, right, really important to set a routine. And now daily routine is foundation to, we know defining our goals. And Charlene, can you tell us a little bit about the wish maps?
Oh yeah, wish maps is something that came through me as just this incredibly creative, immersive journey and all the chaos and all the societal norm and people going through COVID to go back into a place of imagination. So all the things we did as kids with pennies and fountains and wishing on stars, like we're bringing all of that back to hit what you really desire for your life, your dream life, and then you make a map on how to make that wish come to reality. So it's a great individual thing to strengthen the individual. And then as a guide, I like to pass off to Therese, who will take them with that wish if they want a community setting into more of a immersive group.
Sure. So in the platform, you're going to be sharing this approach that you call wish maps. And
I am.
And people become focused on creating a purposeful life, right?
Yes, because everyone's so immersed in work and making money that they're just keep going down this rabbit hole. And by actually believing in wishes again, my mission is to turn adults back into that 12-year-old cape-wearing superhero self. Right. So that starts on the inside and the individual basis. And from there, we then have this platform where everybody's aligned with the same desire to go out and live a purpose and leave a legacy.
Right. So to support people and build on their wish map, I'll be providing group coaching. And group coaching is a place where you can share your goals, you can share your wishes, you can share your definition of a purposeful life in a small group setting. And we all learn, like Lisa said, it's about learning together and feeling supported.
And safe.
And safe. And it's great to complete a wish map, but research shows that if you work with other people and you share that and meet regularly, that purposeful life will come true. So just to help you keep you focused. So I'm excited about bringing that to the community.
Yeah, that's going to be good. And every day we need to have some type of a check-in. And so I'm going to host a morning routine. And it's a daily show where we can talk about different ways to start your day. I know when I started on my journey, people talked about meditation and journaling and yoga, but it seemed to be their interpretation of meditation or journaling and yoga, and it was useful. But what I'd like to do in our platform is share everybody's way of meditation and journaling so that you can make your own recipe and find what works for you. And I think that's going to be a unique to give you a toolbox rather than just a tool.
Right. And we don't want it to be overwhelming, so we will be online as your guides to help you fully take advantage of all these tools without feeling lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that first step of knowing you can reach out to something unbiased, unjudgmental, even pulls you out of that. I think the scariest place for people isn't the environment, it's the internal stillness.
Yeah.
And having guides that you can go to at any time if you're awake during the night or if you need to get off the mental hamster wheel. It's just the meditation, the coaching, and years of experience that we've all been down this road.
Wait a minute, you're covering the night shift?
My avatar is.
Yes.
The cartoon me will be there.
Okay.
Perfect.
I love it. I love the opportunity that we're going to be able to serve others, and again, taking that kind of that, initial app experience that people may have seen in the past, and again, nothing wrong with them, but we're taking it to that next level, being guides, being there to be able to support our community. So very exciting. So, that's a lot to take in. So, so let's recap. So we're going to have a TV show. We're going to have in-person networking, virtual group coaching, live in-person expos, and daily virtual events within our community.
Yes.
Get it all?
That's all of it. So far, right.
That's
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah. And the information on how to join and be a part of our community and be a part of this journey it's below. And we'd love to have you join us. Come check it out and hang out. And, we can't wait to see you inside.
Yep.
At Fresh Mouth Club, they take brushing seriously, and you should too. You only get one set of teeth. I learned that many diseases started in the mouth, so a clean and fresh mouth is key to our mind-body abundance journey.
And wellness does start in the mouth. So everything that we take in and ingest gets absorbed into the cells in the mouth and could be good, could be not beneficial. But I'm not an expert, so here to be the expert on toothpaste is Larry Oberhue from the Fresh Mouth Club.
And thanks for having me on, guys.
Yeah,
I'm
welcome.
real excited. So,
Yeah, welcome,
Awesome.
Larry.
and
Appreciate it.
sure, 100%, you are correct. I mean, wellness does start in our mouth. Actually, our mouth is interconnected with every single part of our body. I mean, there's what they call a tooth meridian chart. It actually tracks it. It shows what tooth is what connected to what part of your body. Chances are, if you have chronic pain, chronic disorders, you have illnesses, chances are you have issues in your mouth that could be causing it. I mean, it's a really, really high probability.
So you have the Fresh Mouth Club. It's a club. Can you tell us a little bit about how that works?
Sure. So we're a subscription-based company for oral health care. You don't have to do our subscription. We sell everything directly as well. We do give discounts and free shipping and stuff like that if you join our club. So we try to make it beneficial, but you don't have to. Not like you don't buy the stuff anyway. I mean, toothpaste and oral hygiene should be part of everybody's routine. So we're either shopping and going looking for it, or we just kind of drop it off for you. But that's kind of how our program works. But we take it kind of a step beyond. So we're not just your ordinary company. We try to go like the next step, next level. So nano silver is what we use, or like a colloidal silver. Most people will probably be a little bit more familiar with colloidal. Nano is just a different, it's the same basic properties. It's just a more refined, a better silver, more powerful and more potent. I mean, and it absorbs better into our body. Silver is one of the most powerful antibacterials known to man. So it completely obliterates all germs, bacteria, viruses, fungus on contact. Silver kills it instantly, where antibiotics would take days, weeks, or months to kill.
So the difference between nano and colloidal, it's not something you buy at the health food store. It's
Well, I mean, there are some nano silver products on the market. Nano it refers to a particle size. So the particle size of the silver is very small. But the thing with colloidal silvers are made with a very simple process. I mean, you take silver rods, electricity, 9-volt battery, put it into distilled water. You can make it yourself, and a lot of people do. And you leave it there. The longer you sit, the higher potency that you'll get from the silver. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's been around for hundreds of years, and I'm certainly not going to knock colloidal silver. It's good stuff. But what you get with colloidal silver is mostly ionic silver. So they're ions of silver, not actually particles of silver. You're going to get some particles, so some of that silver is going to get in there. Now, a lot of people that are really big into colloidal silvers would argue, well, we're getting metal in our bodies and that's bad. It's not. Okay, so silver's not a heavy metal. It's not mercury or lead. It's actually a trace mineral. It belongs in our bodies. Higher concentration in our blood system make you more resistant to illness and sickness. Matter of fact, royalty's known this forever. I mean, that's where the term blue bloods came from. So blue bloods, at higher concentrations of silver in your body, actually create a tinge blue of the blood, which blue bloods, and that's why they live to 100 and we do not. They are just healthier. We used to get a lot of our silver from farming, from the soil, from plants and vegetables and stuff like that. Everything's manufactured over processed now, so we get virtually none. So a lot of people take colloidal silver under the tongue, let it absorb sublingually, and that boosts your immune system actually more than vitamin C. Silver boosts your immune system more than vitamin C does. So it's hugely beneficial for the immune system, as well as being antibacterial and so forth.
So for like people that are doing heavy metal detoxes, this is nothing like fish, like.
Right, nothing like
Nothing
that
you have to
whatsoever.
worry about.
Silver, silver's good for our body. But going back to the colloidal, mostly ions, no metal. So there's actually no particles, which again, a lot of people would argue that's a good thing. It's not. Because when you get an ion is an atom of silver that's positively charged. It's not actually silver, so it's very reactive with things around it. It'll deactivate as well. Then there's no silver, so it's not silver anymore. As a matter of fact, specifically, ionic silver will turn to silver chloride in our stomach because the stomach acids will react with it. That's if you kind of heard the blue man, because a lot of people say, oh, you drink too much of it, you turn blue. So nano silver, on the other hand, no ions. The ions are actually specifically removed out of it. So it's a different process altogether making it. It's a lot more intense and labor intensive and a lot more expensive to make it actually. But now you have just pure particles of silver, which are stronger than the ions, are. So it's much stronger and it lives beyond. So like normal silver, colloidal silver, as it flows through our blood, it'll destroy bacteria, free radicals and things like that don't belong there. But then it dies, it reacts and it's done. Silver particles will actually live on. So they'll go to the next one and the next one and the next one. It actually destroys everything in its path and it doesn't deactivate. So it's just there to go to the next one and the next one. Silver kills instantly. Within seconds when it comes in contact with bacteria, it destroys it. So nothing else that we know of today in the medicine will do that. So what we found and actually a lot of this was accidental, to be honest. We didn't even know a lot of this as we were formulating. But what we found is that it's statistically, or clinically, I should say, proven. I mean, not just me saying it. We didn't even do the trials. I mean, we just kind of rest on them. But it's been clinically proven that nano silver particles will actually regenerate enamel growth. It actually regrows your teeth. By the way, nothing else has ever been able to do that. So it actually can heal cavities naturally. We've had a lot of people that had cavities or cracks in their teeth that literally heal over in about 4 to 6 weeks. So, if you have
That's pretty amazing. So your toothpaste is the bomb. What else are you offering?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
You got all kinds of good stuff. I think
We
this little gadget is pretty cool.
So that's our UV sanitizer. So that actually, you put your toothbrush in there, it sanitizes it. One of the other things is, people, toothpaste is real important, but also what we're using in our mouth. First of all, we're one of the only companies that I know of anyway on the market that does a complete total system for your mouth. Nobody does that. So Crest, they don't have everything. So we have everything. So we do electric as well as manual toothbrushes because people do both. But toothbrushes are actually they can cause a lot of damage. And not only that, they're the filthiest thing in our house. Literally, think of the dirtiest place in your house and then go lick it.
Oh my.
Everybody's like under the sink, way back. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is your toothbrush's worst. It's literally the filthiest thing in our house, and we use it in our mouth every day, and we don't even think about it. You just jab it around in there, swish it around, not thinking. They can and they will make us sick on a regular basis. Toothbrushes will generally make you, canker sores, sore throats, intestinal issues are very, very common. We don't know it. We just keep reinfecting us. The average toothbrush has 100 million strands of bacteria that live in
Bad
it.
bacteria.
Bad stuff. Actually, really, really bad stuff. As a matter of fact, there was a recent study, 30% of heart disease patients can be traced back to their toothbrush. That's how bad it is. That's why the dentist, when you have a deep cleaning done, you have to take antibiotics. Why? Because it can, if you have a heart murmur and stuff, it can go right in there. So it can cause problems. So your toothbrush is, I mean, you know, it's actually pretty serious. So, you know, when they say, oh, every 3 months change it. Nah, I mean, that's, I don't think I'd do that. So what we do, we're big on, you should really change them monthly. I mean, it's really ridiculous when you think about how filthy these things are. And obviously the brush itself is very dense. So the toothbrush, actually the bacteria, I mean, they're a living thing. Nature always finds a way. They actually build matrices on the bottom of our toothbrush that they can hide under. So even if you use peroxide or alcohols and stuff, it doesn't clean them. So we use the UVs. The UVs are nice because you just pop it in there and close it up, and the UV sanitizer will kill it. But even this, the bacteria will still find a way. So that's why, again, you should be changing them every month, even though you're cleaning it. Because I get that asked a lot. If we're cleaning them every day, why do we got to worry about it? Not only will they find a way, but the bristles will actually start to fray. And when they do, they cause micro tears in our gums. That's when it lets the bacteria into our blood system, and you can have a lot of issues from it. So we're all about like really keeping you clean and free of bacteria, germs, toxins that really are bad for us, because our mouth, again, interconnected. We really want to make sure that you do a good job in there. You're not damaging the teeth, because brushing too hard is #1 cause of gum recession. So, you know, that's why actually Sonics are actually much better, because they're less abrasive and they're a little easier on your teeth. But we do both, so some, you know, on them. And then our electrics, actually, we have the UVs as well. So both of our units are UV sanitizers, so that you are never using that bacterial wand inside of your mouth.
So with any toothbrush fitting in here and it dries, I can hear it working.
Yep, it's got a mini dryer in there because
talk
moisture
to me
breeds
about
bacteria.
the all-natural mouth rinse.
So that's our mouth rinse. A lot of people say it's awful small. It's small, but it's mighty. That is a super concentration of nano silver. It's a 50 part per million. That's really high for nano silver. A lot of people look at colloidal silvers. 40, 50 is really easy. Nano silver particles are so strong, they lessen the amount of them. So you only need about 4 to 5 drops in 1 ounce of water is all you need with that, which is super beneficial for your entire body.
So it's actually great for the gut too.
Yes.
Perfect.
Exactly.
Tell us about this cool water bottle.
These generate ozone water. So these create ozone in a bottle, and it ozonates, because ozone's a gas, but it ozonates the water and it creates ozone water. Ozone, again, being 10 times more powerful than bleach, I mean, it has amazing, I mean, it's one of the best industrial cleaners known to man, because you literally, it's water. You can clean something, and if it splashed in your face or your eyes or you drank it, it's not poisonous. Problem with ozone, though, is it falls apart. It's very unstable. So it falls apart. When it falls apart, it creates oxygen. All those oxygen just becomes oxygen. So the ozone is really awesome for our mouth. So we use it as if you use this, we use it as a rinse once in the morning, once at night, especially if you're using our electric. I tell everybody usually about 1 ounce in there. You fill the entire bottle up to make the ozone. 4 to 5 ounce drops with the silver. All you need is 4 to 5 drops with that. You rinse with that and actually just swallow it afterwards. It's really good for you. Then you drink it, the whole bottle, drink it. I recommend to do it twice a day. Happens to really work well with the brushing habits, once in the morning, once at night. Ozone, when you drink it, #1, cleans out your digestion amazingly. It takes all the bad stuff out of there that's not supposed to be there. Then it permeates into your blood. It goes into your bloodstream very easily. So as it gets into your blood, it free flows through your bloodstream, destroying free radicals, bacteria, germs, all the bad stuff there. And then after it's finished, what does it do? It falls apart, turns to oxygen. Oxygen in our blood, our bodies love that. It super oxygenates your blood. It gives you this huge rush of oxygen, which actually gets into the brain. So it actually pumps up. They're actually doing a lot of studies with ozone therapy, which is what we're talking about. They're actually curing dementia or helping aid in that, because oxygen heals our body. So a lot of people don't realize that when our blood has oxygen and carries it, when you break a bone or anything, the oxygen is what's actually curing or healing that bone. So it heals our body. So actually, a lot of extra oxygen heals our body, heals our tissues, our cells, all that stuff. So it's super amazing for you. So again, once in the morning, once at night. We have the only dual feature unit on the market. When you push it, we did it once. Sorry. If you push and you hold the button down for 5 seconds, it'll start to beep and it'll glow red. There you go, right on cue. So it's red, red, red. That's making ozone. It takes 5 minutes to generate it. So in your routine, you do that first because it takes 5 minutes. After you're done, again, you use it right away because it only lasts for about 30 minutes. But throughout the rest of the day, we don't want to, these aren't cheap, so we have a dual purpose. Hydrogen is also an amazing thing for our bodies. Right now it's creating hydrogen. It's actually got pretty colors there, green, blue, and red. With that, I tell everybody, pretty colors, you drink that all day. Hydrogen is H2O, the H is hydrogen. That's what hydrates our bodies. When we drink water, our cells actually absorb all the hydrogen out. That's what it wants to hydrate itself. So this puts millions of extra free molecules of hydrogen in the water. So it super hydrates it.
Yeah, it's pretty, the whole system. I love how it's a system and you can order it at freshmouthclub.com and it comes right to your door. You don't even have to go out and buy it.
Yeah, and we do 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. So depending on your brushing habits, some people do 2 or 3, depending. So if you want to keep this for 3 months, well, that's on you.
Yeah, right.
But I would change that everybody.
No, right? I know. After all this info, yeah. So thank you so much. Do you have a special offer? We want to help you and have our community support you, and we appreciate you supporting our community. What can we do to help? And do you have any type of offer where we can get acclimated with the product and learn more about it?
Sure. So, we have, you can order any of our products online individually, which, if you want the toothpaste or anything like that, we created a promo code for your listeners. It's Body, Mind, Abundance.
Yeah, MBA. Mind, Body, Abundance. Yep.
Yeah, so just the initials, MBA. And if you put that in, it'll automatically give you a 10% discount on
that is
that.
Fantastic.
And then on the subscription, if you do the manual or the electric, depending on your brushing habits there, that same code will give you 20% off of your first month. Because we usually, if you do our Ultra Kit, it's got the UV sanitizers in there. That's an extra $40, so it's like $60 to start, and then it's $19.95 a month. So we give you 20% off of your first order for all your listeners with the same promo code.
Thank you so much for doing that. Thank you so much, Larry. Really appreciate you coming by and being on the show.
You bet. It was a lot of fun. So
yes, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Great information.
Thanks.
Welcome back to the Mind Body Abundance Show. We're so happy to be here. This episode is brought to you by Fresh Mouth. Always fresh, always clean. With me, I have Ashley Levering. She's a life and career coach, and specifically, you're a transition needs coach. So can you tell me a little bit more about the transition needs?
Yeah, for sure. So with all my clients, it's a life or career change that they're going through. A lot of times it's both at once. And what always remains the same is that the change, the transition is happening, and they always need something to get through that change. So that's where my focus always leads me.
And earlier you told me a little bit about the process or the different phases of transition. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, for sure. There are 3 stages of transition that a lot of people don't know about, and it brings my clients a lot of comfort when I explain it because it is simple in the grand scheme of things. And the first stage is the end. Something has to finish, complete, be done, close that door. So the end is always the first part of a change. And the second part, the second stage, is the longest, most uncomfortable, which is the disorientation. So when you feel that chaotic, messy phase of your life where you can't make a good decision, you think, and everything's uncertain, that's the disorientation phase, and that is always the second part. And the last part of a transition is the beginning, the new, and embracing the new, and you feel like you're you're in it and you've turned that page. You've reached the final stage of the beginning.
It seems like people might want to. Do you ever deal with people who want to unend it, unend the first stage of transition?
Oh, there's always that stubbornness,
Yeah.
right? And that's honestly probably the hardest part, is to admit that the change takes you making the effort to finish or end or make the decision, and it's always a decision, right?
Yeah.
And that's where we get stuck.
Yeah, because we make it a lot more complicated than it needs to be. So
For
this
sure.
is really specific. Did you have something that happened in your life, or how did you get into this specific niche?
Yeah, it's very personal to me. I love people. I love the study of people. I always have. I feel like I've been coaching my whole life, but for me, it became really clear that coaching was what I wanted to do, but specifically in transitions, because I've been through a lot of transitions myself. The one that in my own personal life I'm famous for is when I became a mom. I became a mom the same time that we moved across the country and I gave up a career. So I went through 3 huge transitions at once. And when I came closer to the other end, which we're always moving and growing, but when I got to the other side of that, I realized that the biggest thing that would have helped me through that was taking care of myself better and tending to my needs. And so when I put my coaching business together, it just lined up for me. That felt true to me, to just, if you're going through a change, you have to take care of your needs.
Yeah, self-care is that we always forget to take care of ourselves, and you got to put that oxygen mask on first.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Speaking of oxygen mask, not exactly an airplane, but I heard you lived on a ship.
I did. That was a huge change in my life. For 3 months in college, I lived on a ship. We're not allowed to call it a boat, but it was a ship. And actually, that was a huge life-changing event for me, because you think and live and do everything differently when you're living in that kind of a lifestyle. So I come back to that a lot when I tell people about, how to shift your mindset. And imagine you're on a ship, and I go there all the time, still in my mind. But yeah, I was in college. I was taking classes, and I got to travel. I went to 10 different countries, got my first tattoo. Was
Very
learning
cool.
about my life. So
It sounds like truly a say anything John Cusack, Ione Sky moment. Was somebody waving at the dock as you left?
oh yeah, I
Oh,
mean there
absolutely,
was
yeah.
so many movie moments.
Yep.
For sure.
Fantastic. So before the show, you talked about doing a case study on your client and how every client is kind of a science project for you. Do you have a background in science, or how did you arrive at that notion?
It's funny. It was kind of organic. All of a sudden, I was looking through my coaching log where I keep track of everybody, and I realized the hours and hours and hours, hundreds of hours that I had put into coaching through sessions. And I realized that everything always came down to this question I constantly ask my clients, and really anybody in my life who I care about especially, is what do you need? And so I began tracking at the different clients I had, and they had all kinds of different stories and challenges and transitions they were going to, but everything came down to the same. So yeah, in a way, I became a little bit of a coach / scientist, because I was doing this, what is it, the hypothesis, where I'm like, I'm gonna, dive in on this case or this client and see if it comes out the same on the end, which is that if there's a need they're neglecting, or a need that they just need to pay attention to, is that what it comes down to? And almost every time, that's what it comes down to.
Comes down to, can you summarize what it comes down? Let me put a marker in there. I goofed. You're doing great. I need help.
Oh my gosh.
What is the marker at? What's the time?
10:30.
No, the time on the recording.
10 minutes and 30 seconds.
Oh. I suppose it came at 11. Okay. Disoriented. So I need to somehow get to more. You said you arrived at you always arrive at the same thing.
Did it?
So I somehow need to get there, like a little bit more on that. So you talked about each client as a case study, you did a science, and
Was there a theme? You can ask me that.
yeah, okay. That's good.
Okay.
All right, bringing it back.
Okay.
So after talking to your clients and doing these case studies and doing your experiments, Is there a theme or conclusion that you always arrived at?
Yeah, actually. So everybody has needs. And if you breathe, you have needs. We're complicated humans, therefore our needs can be complicated. And regardless of what they are, and they're all different, and it's not always about just self-care. It could just be a need to make a decision that feels hard to do, and not all the needs you need to do are easy. But it always came down to the same theme, was that somehow everybody was either neglecting a need or didn't know there was a need that they needed to tend to. And so once we got after that, everything changes.
You gave a couple of examples of needs. Can you give us a few more examples of what the needs that people have in this transition process?
Yeah, for sure. I'm thinking of clients that I've worked with. For example, I had this one woman who was in there's no easy way to say it was not a good marriage. And she was afraid to speak up for herself, and the need ended up being, I need to speak up for myself. I need to do what feels right to me. There's very similar, layers to that, but it was scary. And the need, we're all afraid of. Some of the times we're afraid of our needs, and so in that case, when she finally, conjured up the confidence, it's a lot of what I do as a coach is help people find that confidence to tend to a need, even if it's a stubborn one. And so when she finally spoke up, she was surprised that she had a better response than she thought she would, and everything changed. She literally changed her entire life just by admitting that she had a need and then actually conjuring up the confidence to meet it.
People, when they're going through transition, there's chaos, there's a lot of emotion, they're going through this big change. What are some of the most surprising things that you have found?
That it's simpler than we make it. We're complicated creatures. We make things complicated. We make things hard, and it's funny because we're afraid of hard, and there's so much fear. And I say fear is not a direction. It's an indicator. So if you're afraid of something, have a conversation with it. It sounds silly, but it's really that simple. And it really comes down to these two things, is that two things that are for sure. Change will happen. You cannot avoid it. Everyone goes through change. It is absolutely 100% certain. And the other thing that is certain that I've experienced in my business, at least, and in my life, is that everybody has needs, period. And it's normal.
Yes.
It's absolutely normal. And we're so afraid to admit the simple fact. Change is going to happen, and needs are normal.
Change is inevitable. Everybody has needs, and don't make it too complicated.
No.
It's simpler than you think.
It is. Well, and it makes everything better. It does. If
does.
you tend to your needs, that's, if I had to stand on my high horse, that's what it is. If you tend to your needs, no matter what they are, everything can get better.
Thank you so much, Ashley.
Yeah.
This has been a great interview, and I love it because everybody's going through a transition all the time. There's always something, whether we're trying to improve our business, make a major life change, or change in our career. And you are there to help along the way, and it sounds like you have a very scientific and proven approach to it.
And personal experience.
And lots of personal
We're all
experience.
human. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.